Welcome to TMZ Live. We broke a story this morning that could be consequential in the hotly contested LA mayoral race. Spencer Pratt, who has now famously put an ad out saying, "This is where I live," and you see that trailer there on a lot, an empty lot, turns out has not been living in that trailer.
No, maybe the polar opposite of living in a trailer, as far as LA goes anyway. He has been staying at the Bel Air Hotel.
Hotel Bel Air.
Hotel Bel Air, yeah, sorry, excuse me. Wow, you just showed your...
Okay, don't make me hoity-toity here. So the point being, This is one of the most exclusive places in Los Angeles. This is, you've heard of the Beverly Hills Hotel, Hotel Bel Air, at least as maybe more exclusive and very expensive. And so he's been staying there. And I texted him this morning and I said, you know, you have this campaign ad. And he said, I never said I lived there, meaning the trailer, because he said they've just connected water and power to the trailer. So he said, I've never said I lived there. Here's the campaign ad.
This is where Mayor Bass lives. You notice something? Or here, where Nithya Raman's $3 million mansion sits. This is where I live. They let my home burn down. I know what the consequences of failed leadership are. That's why I'm running for mayor. For my sons and the rest of us Angelinos that want to stop these corrupt politicians from destroying our city. We are going to get the golden age of Los Angeles back.
It was a very effective ad.
Yes.
Extremely effective ad.
Got a lot of attention.
Yes. But the question is, was it misleading?
Now, personally, I thought he lived in that trailer because that's the way it was
I thought
presented.
he was living in that trailer, and it made sense because his house had burned down and he needs someplace to lay his head every night. I thought that's where he was doing that. Turns out that is not the case. So, without further ado, let's bring in the candidate, Spencer Pratt. Welcome back to TMZ Live.
The best news in the world.
Hey, thank you, Spencer. So look, we did this story this morning. You and I were communicating. So the campaign ad certainly made it seem that you were living in that trailer. It was a high point of the commercial, but you're at the Hotel Bel Air. So kind of undo that for us.
No, to be clear, that is where, excuse me, that is where I live. That's where Karen Bass, Mayor Bass, burned down my house. That is where I will live until I have a new house. The Airstream is a temporary facility. A hotel is a temporary facility. Where my kids are in Santa Barbara right now is a temporary housing. This is where I live as this is where they burned my house down. So this semantics or the nuance of this is the consequences of their failed leadership. And again, I don't live at the Hotel Bel Air. I don't live in the Airstream. I don't live in the Santa Barbara. I don't have a house. They burned it down. That is why I got into this race, because of these people that will burn your house down and act like it's no problem. So this idea that anyone's like, oh, he's at a hotel. I'm at a hotel because these psychopaths are messaging me every day. They're going to kill me because Nithya Raman is calling me a fascist because I don't want people to have their kids next to drug addicts at the park or stepping in human poop when you get your matcha. I have common sense. That's not fascism. So these psychos here, I'm a fascist. And then they literally, like, if you would like to see the death threats, I can send them all offline where people are like, I'm going to hire people to kill you. So yes, unfortunately, now I have a security team and they will not, even if I wanted to stay in the Airstream, would let me because there's 360 unobstructed views since there's no houses. So you can literally snipe me out from any part from 300 yards away easily.
Spencer,
one sec. Not to mention the Airstream, it took over a month for LADWP to connect a wire for electricity to it, which was 3 days ago. It took weeks to get the water hooked up, which was yesterday. So for these people that want to focus on where I sleep at night, first off, I don't even sleep. I get 4 hours of sleep because I'm fighting these corrupt freaking politicians all day long. You want to see my phone hours? I'll screenshot it. It probably says
Spencer,
19 hours.
I hear what you're saying, and on the symbolism of your ad that because of the fire that you don't have a home, and I get that, but there's something to the point where you say in the ad, "This is where I live," while you're standing in front of a trailer. I think the reason that ad was so effective with voters is because you did draw this visual comparison of where the mayor lives, where Nithya Raman lives, and where you live. So you're showing where they live, and then you're saying, "This is where I live." Everyone saw that ad and thought, "Wow, Spencer Pratt has to live in that trailer because his house burned down." But
I do, sir.
But then
that is my house.
But
that
for the
is
last
my
month
house.
and a half, you've been at the Bel Air Hotel.
I haven't been at the Bel Air Hotel for more than 6 days in the last month. This is all public.
Right, but
things.
that's where you've been staying. I know you may not have actually been in it.
No, I've been in Santa Barbara where the LA Times reported where I lived and doxed me. That is where I live, period. This is LA Times. This isn't breaking news. Even when the Airstream ad came out, the LA Times cover story is saying, no, Spencer Pratt lives in Santa Barbara. And I said, yes, thank you for doxing me. I tried to sue the LA Times for saying where I actually live.
But but are you saying you live in that trailer?
I don't live anywhere is what I'm saying. I don't have a house. They burned it down, Harvey. I don't have a house.
But why not say that? But Spencer, that would be
you-
really effective. Why not say that in the ad? I don't have a home.
You texted me today. I have never told anyone I lived in it. And yet in the ad you say, this is where I live.
This is where I live. This is my house. This is my property. There's nothing there, Harvey. It's dirt lot. I had to have it craned in to the lot. That's what people are. This is psycho. I only got on this live because I love you. But so last time I'm going to talk about this because the reason I am running is because they burned down 7,000 houses. This is where everyone lives. They don't not consider that their home just because it's a dirt lot, because it's an Airstream, a teepee, a tent. When you're a fire victim, this is where you live. They burn it down. This is where I always will live. People are missing the messaging of the consequences.
But Spencer, listen, I've known you for a long time, and you're a really smart guy. And you are all over these ads, which have been, honestly, they've been lauded by people who have said, these are, brilliant ads. Wasn't the point there, and I believe the trailer door was even open, wasn't the point to telegraph to people that your body went inside that trailer night after night?
Right.
I mean, wasn't that the point of the ad?
No, the point of the ad is to show this is where they burned my house down. I have no house. This is their houses. They're fine. And this is where I live. This is where my town lives. This is our reality for the next 10 years, if we're lucky. That'll be there for the next 6 years. And I'll say, I live there. I live in the Palisades. I'm a registered voter to that address. I'm an Angelino. Even if my family and kids have to now go to school in Santa Barbara, I am an Angelino. This is my town. This is where they burned me down. So I am on set with these lovely people at Interview Magazine, and I can't be just ranting all day, but I appreciate you. People can be all caught up in the nuance of where I live or where I don't. I'm running for mayor because these people will burn your house down, cover it up.
Spencer, the nuance is you being truthful to vote with voters.
I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. That is where I live. Period.
Okay.
Period. I don't need to sleep there every night. I don't need to go to the number 2 on that toilet. That is where I live. I'm from the Palisades, Los Angeles, and I'm fighting for Los Angeles. So
okay, but just one final thing.
Sir.
Just to clarify, you have never physically lived in that trailer.
To clarify, I haven't lived anywhere since my house burned down.
Well, you're sleeping somewhere.
For those 4 hours.
Again, I don't live anywhere. They burned my house down, to be clear. So I love you guys. You can,
all right.
What we should be doing on TMZ is talking about the drug addicts that we spend $500 million that live on our sidewalk going number 2. This is great that this is the focus, but that's the reality. And if people care about this right now, we're in so much trouble. And I'm going to do my best to try to save LA. But if people don't get out and vote because they want to feel safe, and that's what I'm fighting for people to feel safe and their tax money to literally go to making us safe and the people to get housed and people not to die on the street, that's the message. So this does not matter. That is where I live, period. And I'll live in LA as long as I have that dirt lot. The Airstream is imaginary to me. I live in that dirt, in my ashes. That's what I fight for. So I love you guys. Keep posting me. Please use better photos. God bless you.
Thanks, Spencer.
Thanks, Spencer.
Have a great day.
Coming up.
Big shocker out of South Carolina today, where the Supreme Court of that state has ruled that Alex Murdaugh's double murder convictions have got to be tossed out.
Be right back.
Big shocker out of South Carolina today, where the Supreme Court of that state has ruled that Alex Murdaugh's double murder convictions have got to be tossed out. He is going...
By the way, stunning.
It is... Think of how that whole trial played out, all the documentaries that have been done about this. He is going to get a new trial now because of something that the Supreme Court said happened during the trial that was improper, that tainted the jury, as it were. There's a court clerk.
A court clerk, according to the court, a court clerk inserted herself into jury deliberations and, quote, Hill, the court clerk, placed her fingers on the scales of justice, shocking interference with the jury deliberation process.
Because she actually said anti-Murdaugh things to...
Exactly.
It is, the jury room is sacrosanct. And you just can't, especially a county employee.
When you're the clerk of the court, you should know better.
Insane that this happened. It really is insane. And when you hear this, it is reversible error.
Oh, 100%.
I mean,
it was a unanimous decision of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, it's like this is something that cannot be done. And if you've got an outside influence, and especially an official from the court coming in and saying, this is the way you should vote, or insinuating it, it's over.
I've been a lawyer for 25 years. You for what, 3 times that or so? Have you ever heard of this kind of thing?
Messed up,
Sorry,
man.
Longer than that. Have you ever heard of this kind of thing?
I mean, look, I've seen judges on the bench who clearly make their feelings known, and that's really bad. And to a point where I do think that it's reversible error. But the idea of the clerk going into the room and doing it is crazy to me.
So Murdaugh is not going to get out of prison right now because he's also serving, I believe, 40 years for financial
in a federal facility
crimes. But when he goes back in, so he's going to get a new trial for the murders. What changes, really, right? I mean, all the evidence is
it's the same thing.
It's still the same.
Except, look, the difference is, from the outside, that's the way everybody sees it.
I guess I'm just saying, because from the outside, it looked like they had really
it's very
solid
hard
evidence.
To convict high-profile people. He's got great defense counsel. We were, like, when the verdict came down, it wasn't a sure thing. I didn't feel it was.
There have been a lot of cases with mistrials where the verdict goes the other way the second time.
Yeah.
I mean, here you've got the defense now knows exactly what the prosecution's going to do. The prosecution knows how well their witnesses are road tested.
Their witnesses' also memories are a couple years older now. They're going to be cross-examined what they said the first time. You don't know.
But it's so stunning. I mean, is this clerk fired, by the way?
Yeah, Becky Hill is actually on 5 years probation. She, back in December, pled guilty to multiple counts of obstruction of justice and perjury.
But just the idea of it is shocking to me. This was in the jury room.
Yes, it was comments to the jury themselves. It wouldn't have happened in open court, so it had to be in the room or outside. Definitely not in court.
In between the
He's also doing a
something.
27-year concurrent sentence for state financial crimes as well. So Murdaugh's not getting out of. He's spending the rest of his life in prison. But I mean, minimum 30, 35 years in federal.
Well,
prison.
he only gets 15% credit in federal.
Right.
So with 40 years, he's not getting out.
You're right.
Hi, I'm Aditi Bustles. I'm a former elected in South Carolina. And I agree with you. I hope the book deal was worth it for the clerk because it cost us justice on this Murdaugh trial. And the Attorney General down here has already said that they will be retrying immediately. That being said, what I really want TMZ to look into is how was this appeal paid for? How are we able to do something like this? And what is Dick Harpootlian's long game in terms of potentially lessening some of the financial crime sentences as well? Because the worst case scenario could be that Alex Murdaugh gets out of jail.
Well, he's not going to get out. But look, right is right and wrong is wrong. And what happened here is wrong. And you have to overturn it if a court official messes with the jury, period.
Well, the TMZ DC crew tackled a very important issue, and I'm not even saying that in a joking manner.
It is an important
very important issue today with a member of Congress. Charlie ran into Representative Ilhan Omar, who is I didn't know this until this morning, until Charlie had this encounter with her. She is the co-chair of the council. What are the cannabis?
It's the move to decriminalize cannabis on a federal level. The Cannabis Caucus. Donald Trump has, declassified marijuana. It's still illegal, but it's not the serious drug like heroin and cocaine.
From Schedule 3 to Schedule 1.
That's right.
So big change there. And actually, Charlie talked to her about that because, no secret, Ilhan Omar and Donald Trump
agree on nothing, you would think.
On absolutely nothing. So Charlie got into that with her and also wanted to know, how come there's nobody out anyway as a marijuana smoker in Congress? Because it is legal in almost half the states now. So what's the deal? Here's what she had to say.
Hey, Trump actually is giving a little way on cannabis reform and declassifying it.
Yeah, and we're excited that the fact that he is paying attention to this issue. But it is time, like I said, for the federal government to fully legalize. We already have so many states that have already legalized, and I think it is just really important for the whole country to have cannabis be legal.
Do you think there are some stoner Congress people, and do you think that they're ashamed to sort of admit it for whatever reason, because it's legal?
I don't know, you should see.
I'm trying to find out. You're the co-chair of the Cannabis Caucus.
I think there are a lot of people who smoke cannabis in Congress.
Of course there are.
Of course there are.
Like, there's nothing shocking about that. It's also not shocking that they wouldn't be open.
And there's nothing. And there's nothing shameful.
There's
nothing shameful about it either, because the stigma is so stupid.
But it is still there.
Can I just say, the thing that probably causes more death and destruction in this country than anything else is alcohol.
Absolutely, 100%.
And yet we celebrate alcohol. We celebrate with alcohol. And the idea, that there may be things about cannabis that aren't good for you, but there are things that are good for you.
Yeah.
And the idea that it still has this stigma is insane.
No, I agree. The more shocking point of that clip, though, for me, was the fact that they seem to be on the same page. They are mortal enemies of one another.
She said on camera, you can see the full interview on the website on TMZ.com, but she actually said, yes, I give Donald Trump credit.
I never thought I'd hear those words come out of her mouth. I was shocked.
I stopped it and I had to replay it. I was like,
okay,
wait.
The interesting thing is, do you give her credit for giving Trump credit?
Absolutely. Yes, she deserves credit.
Okay.
She deserves credit for giving him credit.
Well, can I just say?
Yes.
Can I just say?
Yeah.
I am so proud of you for saying that. You can go back to your chicken tenders.
Wait, you proud of him for saying he's giving her credit for giving him credit?
No, I just went into chicken tenders.
My name is Alfred. I am from Phoenix, Arizona, and I am a huge advocate for marijuana use as it is legalized in Arizona. And it is pretty cool to see something as simple as marijuana bring kind of enemies together. And I do agree that there are some stoners in Congress. I mean, who doesn't smoke? And that's a big job. It's calming. And like you said, no one has ever passed away from the use of marijuana. Alcohol is one of the leaders in deaths. People have died from Tylenol, and we still have a negative stigma against marijuana use.
It's ridiculous. It is just simply ridiculous.
By the way, we should say that the Congresswoman also said, just because you are a staunch advocate for legalizing marijuana doesn't mean that you smoke.
No, absolutely not.
Coming up.
That George Floyd joke that Tony Hinchcliffe told during Kevin Hart's roast. Kevin Hart is getting a lot of blowback for this.
Because he laughed.
George Floyd's brother, Terrence, thinks that proximity meant that Kevin should have done something specific when that joke was told.
Be right back.
TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexa was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at. That George Floyd joke that Tony Hinchcliffe told during Kevin Hart's roast has really, really created a lot of backlash, and not just for Tony Hinchcliffe. I think Tony is already a very controversial comedian, but what's interesting is that Kevin Hart is getting a lot of blowback for this. George Floyd...
Because he laughed.
Because he laughed, and remember, the way this is, Kevin was the one closest to Tony as these jokes are being told, and in fact, George Floyd's brother, Terrence, thinks that proximity meant that Kevin should have done something specific when that joke was told. This is what Terrence Floyd had to say on Lauren LaRosa's podcast.
I'm a fan of Kevin Hart. The dude is really funny. I feel like my family and their friends, they said, it should have had not the Will Smith action, but the Will Smith energy. Where you stand up and be
Kevin Hart should have responded differently.
Right. Responded right then and there, like, well, wait, hold up. Because I remember Kevin Hart and a few other celebrities was at the Minnesota funeral. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in that respect, like, wait, hold up. That one is too far.
I gotta say, totally reasonable. I mean,
I
he's saying I don't necessarily want him to do the act that Will Smith, by slapping Chris Rock, but I want him to have the energy and confront him.
I felt like he did want him to slap. I think he did want him to slap.
Can I say,
but
even if he said that, you get it.
Yeah. Well, and also the thing I had forgotten was that Kevin Hart went to George Floyd's funeral.
Yeah. So for the family, they have that visual in their mind.
Right, and also it was Kevin Hart's roast. So you would imagine Kevin Hart would have some control over the narrative and the jokes that are said.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he knew this joke was going to be told.
But Tom Brady during he said something to Jeff Ross about a certain jokes that he didn't want
because some of the jokes, we should be clear, on the roast are scripted. Most of them are scripted. They're reading off a teleprompter. But these are comedians, and sometimes they just do things that are not.
And by the way, do you think Kevin Hart read everybody's jokes?
Well, no. Plus,
definitely not. Because he wants to have a real reaction.
Yeah, you want to have the real reaction. So I'm sure he didn't know.
The other side of it is Kevin Hart is sitting there, and this guy's firing off jokes, and in the moment, you're kind of thinking, you're stunned, you react, and all of a sudden they're at the next joke. So, I mean, I'm not saying, listen, if Kevin Hart would have done something, that would have been great.
But it would have derailed the entire thing. It was a live broadcast.
And he's thinking, do I do this? And it's,
do you not also think the comedians who are telling these jokes, if the backlash means that they did their job, in my opinion, as comics.
When you're doing a roast.
Like, I'm sure they love that there's backlash for their jokes because it means they push the envelope.
In the context of a roast, you're absolutely right.
They may. But it's more about Kevin than Tony.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the family's more upset with Kevin than Tony.
Yeah, I mean, Tony knew what he was doing. It sounds like Kevin got blindsided by it, and then the issue was, what do you do?
And in the moment, had to decide, what do I do?
Yeah.
Do I laugh uncomfortably, or do I get up and actually do something in protest?
Yeah.
This is Kendall in Birmingham, Alabama. And I just feel like with all that's going on in the world, there should be outrage about this and there should be backlash. First of all, why was George Floyd even mentioned in a Kevin Hart roast? But regardless of how anyone feels about how George Floyd may have lived his life, that man was a human. He left behind children and a family. And to stand up there and make these types of jokes as if it's just a regular Wednesday afternoon and it should be okay, and for Kevin Hart to laugh through it, bro, I'm like, bro, where's the outrage? What are you thinking right now? How can you even laugh through this?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, I think everybody agrees this went way over the line and wasn't funny. But
right. And the crowd reaction was uncomfortable.
What about the point, and I hear you, but what about the point that Kevin Hart's sitting there, all of a sudden he hears something that it comes from out of the blue, and he's sitting there front and center thinking, You know, it's like then, and Tony's moved on now. You know, it's sort of like when somebody gets caught in the moment, sometimes they don't act the way they would have acted if they would have known something beforehand.
I'm thinking maybe he's one of, and devil's advocate in me says maybe he's one of those people that laughs when he's uncomfortable because I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
But I would like to hear from him at this point because I'm like, what's up?
That's a fair point. That's a really good point.
Yeah, that he
That's
can
a
explain
really good point.
If Kevin were to explain what was going through his head in that moment.
That's a really, really good point.
Coming up.
As Chris Brown's getting ready to go out on tour with Usher, he has also dropped his new album. Maybe the most brutal album review I have ever seen. This album is a real piece of blank poop.
I don't give a what these is talking about.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live as Chris Brown's getting ready to go out on tour with Usher, which of course is going to be a huge success. He has also dropped his new album, simply entitled Brown.
With 400 songs.
Roughly 400, I think it's 27, but once you get over 15, it might as well be 400. And the reviews are pouring in, as they say, and at least one of them stands out for being maybe the most brutal album review I have ever seen. From Pitchfork magazine, Alphonse Pierre gives Brown 1.3 stars out of 10. Saying, in part, Chris Brown's soulless, hit-chasing new album doesn't justify his return to the public eye. This album is a real piece of blank poop.
But it involves the color brown.
Yeah.
The weird thing about this is return to the public eye. Chris has kind of been in the public eye.
Chris Brown has been in the public eye.
Yeah, I don't understand that comment.
And I think that phrase kind of is the tell.
Yes.
And there are other phrases that he used repeatedly throughout the review, such as redemption, comeback.
It's about Rihanna.
Yes. And it is pretty clear that he, Alphonse, is still harboring some hatred for Chris Brown over that. Chris Brown saw this review, and here's his reaction.
Team Breezy, I know people want me to get on here and, you know, say some shit, but that. We kicking their ass. We ain't letting up. I'm gonna keep my foot on their neck, and we ain't stopping. You hear me? We doing this tour, more to come. I'm not gonna tell you what's more to come, but it's coming at the end of the day. I don't give a what these is talking about. I know exactly who my fans is, and I know exactly who hearing this album. If you're not my fan, I don't want you to listen to my Go listen to Zara Larson or somebody.
Here's the thing. He does give a bleep because he is responding. And there's an old saying, never let him see you sweat. Well, he kind of is, that he is reacting because he's upset about it. And it's a huge mistake, I think, for a celebrity or a singer, an entertainer. Don't say anything.
Ignore it.
Don't
the
say
success
anything.
of your tour,
Yes.
the success of the album.
Yes.
Nope.
Say
Speak for
No,
itself.
we're not going to let
above it.
people like Alphonse Pierre, who, first of all, you didn't even review the album fairly. You've reviewed like 6 songs out of 27, so you're biased. Mind you, there's been tweets pulled from Alphonse in 2014 talking down about Chris Brown. So it's just giving that this one writer, because no one else agreed that this album is a 1.3. It's giving that he's just a Chris Brown hater.
Then why respond?
Because you needed to defend yourself. All these people that keep on talking all this smack.
If Chris Brown needs to defend himself, he will spend all of his time doing it because
he can defend himself when he wants to. And if he feels like someone writing an article saying that this album is a piece of
he should act like it doesn't bother him.
By the way,
even if it does. Even if it
horrible
does.
censoring on your part.
I've thought about it halfway after third letter in. Sorry.
Even if it bothers him, just move on.
And also,
or just say something and then move on. then Alphonse can know.
I also I'd say, like, if Chris wants to defend himself, okay, I get your point.
His artwork.
But there is something about when you do it in such an aggressive manner that it reminds people of things that they don't want to.
That's fine.
Chris Brown has moved on.
That's
Chris
really
Brown
true.
has
That's
moved
fine,
past it.
but at
and
the same time,
I'll let it go.
You give
Rihanna's let it go.
you give the same energy that you get, and at the same time, you're saying like he was aggressive with it. That article and that headline was very aggressive.
Yeah, but
that
he does
1.3 rating is definitely aggressive.
He wants to move past this whole thing. Did what the reviewer said have any impact on you?
Absolutely. No, it made me go stream the album even more.
Okay, then he shouldn't respond.
That's what it made me do.
Then he shouldn't respond.
T from Seattle. Harvey, when do you not know Chris Brown to respond to something? He is the king of 0 to 70. So that response is, probably on par for him. What I will say is Zara Larsson is probably somewhere like, what did I do? Why am I in it? That's the only person who I'm feeling bad for in this, whole shebang. But the truth is, yes, Chris Brown's music, has it evolved since, I don't know, Exclusive? Not really, and that's probably what the critics are responding to.
Did you hear that?
Hold on, Team Breezy wants to
that
respond.
His music hasn't
hasn't really evolved.
Well, I literally have said that, no, this isn't like the best album, but at the same time, when you are Chris Brown and you've already had so many albums and so many hits that are great, it's going to be hard to keep on putting out. So
Beatles did it.
Thank you, Chris, for still giving us content.
Okay, and your retort.
Did it. The Beatles did it. Everyone does it. Chris Brown, since I was a little kid till now, I'm still hearing the same tunes. Ooh. That's why you got that 1.3 out of 10. Sorry.
Oh, absolutely. What?
Turns out Serena Williams has been keeping a big secret. Big secret at home. And I don't really understand how she's kept this secret up to this point. But she was on Michelle Obama's podcast. Michelle's brother also. We've got to give Craig some credit. But she was talking about a discovery that her kids made. And here's her explanation for what happened when her kids discovered, oh crap, mom's the GOAT.
I try so hard to make sure Olympia is just like everyone else. Like, she's not seen as anyone special. I don't tell her that she's special. I never told her I played tennis. When she started reading, she saw me and she asked questions.
She's like, what are you doing, Mom? Put that racket down, you
I remember
silly
one
goose.
time in kindergarten, she's like, Mom, why are you in my book? So eventually she learned. I don't want them to feel they're better than anyone else or they have an advantage, because we don't need that anymore in this system that we live in. Yeah. We just need some kids that are just as normal as you can be.
How old is her daughter?
So Olympia is 8 and Adira is 2.
So I don't understand how Olympia would not hear from a friend. I mean, Serena Williams is so famous on so many levels, and especially where she lives, that it just seems so odd to me that a friend wouldn't say, I saw your mommy on TV, or I saw,
And one explanation that I'm quite certain I don't know where her kids go to school, but
they're all famous?
Yeah,
they're probably going to a private school where the kids all come from families of people who are either famous or very
notable,
accomplished. And
but then they do the whole thing of, my mom's more famous than your mom.
Well, for that reason, they probably don't talk about it at all. The kids are just like
also I'm
being
wondering,
kids.
what is their home like? Because she's won so many tennis championships. There's got to be like awards or trophies or, there's just none of that. Also, all the magazine spreads that she does. Like, if you go to the Kardashians' house, all of that stuff is on display. Every magazine cover is framed and put up in a kitchen on a wall. Yes. But at her house, there just must be nothing, no memory of her past.
I admire this. And I don't know how she pulled it off, but I admire the fact, the principle of, I'm just telling my kids that, I don't know what age it is when kids start asking what their parents do. I don't remember, but.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I've never met Serena Williams in my life. She strikes me as a great mother, just because she's so level-headed. Yeah, she's always been so level-headed that she thinks things through, that she just, I have no basis for saying it other than just watching her over the years, but I believe that she has those principles. I really do.
Hi, I'm Lexi from Newfoundland, and I agree. I kind of admire this because I like that she's raising her kids to be normal and not like some other children we see that are taking on what their parents
I thought
do.
she's trying to raise them normal. I don't know at what age, because at some point they can't avoid it. Her parents are not normal.
I mean, the DNA is sports is part of DNA. So it's like, Mommy, why was I able to beat everybody in tennis today?
Never mind, you'll learn.
Coming up.
Auda's getting some traction.
I think there is something afoot in DC, and it might actually have something to do with Auda. I wonder if Senator Kennedy played that to any of his fellow senators.
Be right back.
Out is getting some traction.
I think there is something afoot in D.C., and it might actually have something to do with OUTA. A measure that was brought forward. Harvey's old OUTA chant. I wonder if Senator Kennedy played that to any of his fellow senators.
We've been on a tear for a couple of months just because, you know, that they go on vacation, the members of Congress, for 2 weeks when thousands of federal workers aren't getting paid.
During a shutdown.
But they're getting paid.
Right. So Senator Kennedy from Louisiana has advanced a measure that that would stop the pay of all members of Congress during a shutdown. We talked about this during both of the most recent shutdowns, that isn't their pay attached to it? Because
it's a way to avoid a shutdown because they're not. It's okay if it's other people's wallets, not theirs.
This is something we should all be applauding. Now, it is not law yet, and in fact, the Senate will still have to vote on it. Then it'll go to the House, and this would be awesome, and it would be a great thing for our government to avoid a shutdown.
Hey, it's Rachel from Los Angeles. This is obviously like a good and smart move. Our elected officials apparently need a personal financial consequence just to do the most basic parts of their jobs. But I do want to note that Republicans control the White House, the House, and the Senate, and the federal government has still been shut down for chunks of the last year. So I think at some point the other side won't cooperate, stops being an excuse and starts being a reflection of your inability to govern. So the bigger issue that we need to think through and work through and frankly hold our leaders accountable to is why this keeps happening. And it keeps happening because they are not passing budgets in the interest of everyday Americans. So a good start, but something that I think is not going to be resolved by this alone.
Two things, though. I disagree with you. To say that the Republicans control everything, therefore they're responsible. They're all responsible because if they could do it on their own, they would have done it. And the fact is that you need a certain number of votes, and Democrats held out, and they couldn't compromise. So it's really on both of them. It's not just on the Republicans. It's both.
I will be really interested to see what the vote is on this in the Senate, and especially in the House. And we should give credit where credit's due. Senator Kennedy is Republican.
Yep.
And he's the one who put this measure forward. So
it will, boy, I'll tell you, now the people who vote against this have got some splaining to do.
Yes. Explain that when you go home to your constituents.
Yeah. No. I need to get paid even if they don't. Explain that. See, this is why it's just one voice. All you need is one person to introduce a bill like this, you know, after their breaks over the last month.
And if they don't sign it, out with their asses.
Out with their asses.
You want to go up there?
Show the chant again. Show the chant one more time. Let's go sound up on this chant.
What?
Out with their asses. O-W-T-A. Out with their asses.
Wow. It was not our best chanting.
Coming up.
All you need is love, because it appears that Billy Ray Cyrus and Tish Cyrus, maybe that there's a cooling off. So what could be behind this?
Love.
Love, indeed.
Be right back.
All you need is love. Somebody, who wrote that? Who was that? It appears...
Chris Brown.
It's Chris Brown. It appears... That was a low blow, man.
Sorry.
Yes, all you need is love, because it appears that Billy Ray Cyrus and Tish Cyrus, maybe that there's a cooling off. It was Tish's birthday.
A rapprochement.
Yes, a rapprochement. Tish's birthday, and Billy Ray actually wished her a happy birthday.
I thought it was a Mother's... it was a Mother's Day, I think.
Was it Mother's
her birthday?
Day? Yeah, it was birthday.
Go to this tweet. Let me see this.
All right. Yes, because he said...
Two of the greatest mothers. That feels like
two of the greatest mothers ever were born on this day. And tomorrow, my mother, Ruthie, on May 14th. And the mother driving Miley down that driveway as I wrote the song, Ready, Set, Don't Go. Happy birthday, Tish.
That's very generous.
So what could be behind this?
Love.
Love, indeed, as we said at the top.
He's moved on. He is with Elizabeth Hurley in a big, big way. And
when he's happy,
then he can
be happy for her.
Because he wasn't always.
No, Definitely
This is sweet too. It's also nice to see like Billy singing again. I feel like this video kind of for a lot of fans, you know, really touched him. And I have to say, when I die, I hope I come back as one of his dogs because they are zonked in the background on the couch, really enjoying listening to him sing.
So you believe in reincarnation?
Definitely. Do you see them? They are like absolutely out on his couch.
Oh God, reincarnation, sure.
Oh, is that another thing you don't believe in? But you believe in aliens?
What do you mean now?
Too?
Will you believe in that?
I mean, I'm hoping for it. I don't know if
What
I
would you
believe
want to
it.
come
What would you want
back
to come back as?
Rich.
What would you want to come back as?
I mean, a dog, actually. I very frequently look at my dog and go, this is
There's
the
two
life.
dogs there. We could be
certain
together.
dogs.
This is the life.
Hey, it's Cheyenne from Florida. It's so nice to see Billy Ray and his family getting back together. After that divorce, things were bad. And now we are finally seeing this family perform together. We're seeing all of this talent together. It's really, truly amazing after all the vitriol we saw. And I also want to agree, I would also like to come back as a dog.
Wow, the
No
dogs
one
have it.
co-signed reincarnation. Big issue.
What else you guys want to talk about?
How you doing? I'm Todd Hipsher. I'm coming to you from Newport Beach, California.
Hey, Todd.
How you guys doing? Thank you. Yeah, this whole thing about Spencer Pratt staying at the Bel Air Hotel, who gives a crap, really? I mean, this guy just lost everything. He's got a family, 2 little kids, and he is fighting for his safety. He wants to really change LA and bring it on back. As a retired LA fire captain, I feel the guy's pain. And you know what? As much passion as he has in his blood right now, he's going to make a difference for us. And I do think that LA is on life support. It needs some CPR, and he's the man to do it.
All right.
I definitely agree with you in the CPR.
That LA needs some CPR?
Yeah, boy, LA does need CPR because you're in LA, right?
No, he's in Newport.
Oh, you bailed?
I'm in Newport now, yes.
He bailed. He did his time. Thank you for your service as a firefighter, and then you're like, I'm out. I'm going to Orange County.
Coming up.
All right, we have an important update on a running bet in this office as to whether or not one Sydney Sweeney will be engaged to be wed to Scooter Braun. Some of us are realistic, and others
are right.
Be right back.
All right, we have an important update on a running bet in this office as to whether or not one Sydney Sweeney will be engaged to be wed to Scooter Braun. Some of us are realistic and realize like this is just a happy couple and they don't have to get married, and others
are right.
I will say, certainly looking a little more wedding-ish in their future because of what Sydney posted. A bunch of photos and videos of them over the last few months.
And by the way, a good life. Look at where they're going.
A very, very good life. And they certainly look very much in love and happy. I just don't know that it means they have to get married.
They don't have to get married. She was engaged, so she's not averse to it. He was married. He's not averse to it. I'm not saying everybody needs to, but I'm feeling like they're
that type that they would want to.
Yeah, exactly. The Marion type, so they say. Okay, we will see you tomorrow.